Welcome in to another episode of Kevin and Zach Reacts. I am Kevin Ostriker, and we are here after another Orioles loss. I've been saying that too much lately, but this one in particular definitely stinks. This was another embarrassing performance. This was another game where the Orioles could not get their offense going. The pitching gets shelled early, and the Orioles right now look like a shell of themselves. So we're going to be talk about the response after the events of last night and Heston Kjerstad getting hit in the head, and obviously the moves the Orioles made. We'll get to that a little further down the line. But man, this is just sad, man. Like it's sad to watch this team limp the way they are into the All-Star break. They are limping. They are limping into the All-Star break right now at the worst possible time. Now, here are a couple of things, okay? Is the season over? No, the season is not over. Is this extremely disappointing? Yeah. Do things need to change? Yeah. We're going to talk about all of that. But your guy gets hit in the head last night. And by the way, I do want to clarify something. Zach and I last night never said it was intentional. But intentional or not, getting hit in the head is going to evoke some kind of response, especially when we have now seen clips come out and pictures come out of the Yankees dugout chirping at Hyde once he came out to check on Heston. But regardless, the response was weak. You know, we talked about what's the get back, get a win. And not only could they not get a win, they lost in embarrassing fashion. So let's bring them on. The other half of Kevin and Zach Reacts, it is Zach Bollinger. Zach, I don't know if you have a fire me up speech like last night,
No.
or if you're just throwing your hands up and saying what the hell's happening.
What the hell's happening, Kevin? I mean, tip your cap to the Yankees, because we said last night that scuffle, benches clearing, bullpens coming down, it's going to fire someone up. Both these teams are in slumps. It has to fire somebody up. And it clearly didn't fire the Orioles up. They come out here, they do another just brutal performance offensively. Obviously, you had the Grayson Rodriguez 3-run homer in the first inning that, as soon as that happened, Kevin, let's just be real. It felt like, okay, go get them tomorrow. Like, that's where we're at with this point. They need the All-Star break. Is that an excuse? Is being tired an excuse? No, every team's tired. But the Yankees showed up with energy. Yesterday lit a fire in one team and it didn't light a fire in the other, and that's why the Yankees won Game 2.
Yeah, and we had kind of talked about it where they had decent momentum going into the Cubs series. I mean, they had kind of broken out of that slump and figured everything out a little bit, and we're kind of getting back for the most part. Not everything was perfect, but then it all falls apart for them. And at the end of the day, like, this is the biggest series of the season for the Orioles right now against the Yankees. When we talking into September, that Yankee series might be super important again. But I mean, they need the All-Star break, but at the same time, who is it a break for? Not Gunnar, not Adley, not Tony, not Westberg, not Corbin. Like, those guys are going to be. There's no reset for those guys. It's baseball, baseball, baseball. And this is, I mean, they're in their head, man. I mean, Brandon Hyde talked about it. We can obviously see it. This is just a dejected team. Doesn't seem like they believe in themselves. I mean, I don't know about you, Zach, but it feels like the Orioles have to limit whoever they're playing to 2 runs max in order to have a shot to win these games now. And even that's being generous. Like, you might have to shut them out at this point in order to.
You have to shut them out
to get away. It's just brutal, man. I don't know what to tell you.
They've scored, 0-0, 1-1? If they don't shut teams out, they're not winning ball games. Listen, it's baseball. I know I came on last night and was all fired up. I actually am at a crab feast right now. I see people asking about that. So I just mixed in a water for all those concerned. Mom, I know
there you
Mom. Mom, if you're watching, I did just mix in a water. But it's, man, like you said, it's not a rest for some of these guys. And for the big guys, the guys you want rest, the guys you want to be at their max potential when you come back, the Adleys, the Gunners, the Corbins, they're not getting that rest. So that's what sucks. Kevin, I'm not going to lie, man. When O'Hearn got that triple to lead off the inning and he gave that "let's effing go" to the bench. I thought that was it. I thought, okay, they made it 4-1 right after that. It felt like, okay, get a shutdown inning, and then let's see what happens. Juan Soto and Aaron Judge back to back. At that point, the lead felt insurmountable. It felt like, let's just call the game, go on to tomorrow.
Yeah. But we're saying it way too often, man. We're saying just get them tomorrow, and I know you agree with me, but it's just like we can't keep saying get them tomorrow, and then they don't get them tomorrow, and then it's just this continuous thing. Where it'd be one thing if they were putting up fights and these were closer games, and some of these issues weren't as persistent as they are, but they have not hit consistently with runners in scoring position all season. After Bradish and Means and everybody went down, this rotation outside of Corbin has been nothing short of terrible for the most part. The bullpen, honestly, we were talking about bullpen inconsistency, Zach, earlier in the season. It's like, oh, this is a huge issue, and they certainly need help. But the bullpen might be the most solid thing they have right now, and that's saying something, considering how bad the offensive starting rotation have looked. So it's with every time this happens, and the way this works is if they lose again, we head into the All-Star break, and there is a week plus of conversation about this. There's going to be, even if they win tomorrow, there's going to be a ton of conversation about it because your offense has to play better. They have guys in the minor leagues that can help them. Obviously, Mike Elias made it pretty clear that Mayo will be a part of this team at some point.
And Holiday.
Yeah. But you got to that process might have to be accelerated a little bit because of how poor this offense is playing. Teams go through slumps. Teams go through bad stretches. It happens to everybody. I'm not saying that it doesn't and that the Orioles are immune to it, and this is such a disappointment because they should never do this. This happens. But it's terrible timing. They look dejected, and the belief in themselves seems to be gone. We lauded about them being the cardiac comeback kids and these guys that believe in themselves down to the final out and always putting up a fight. But it doesn't seem like they have that right now. It seems like they really need a reset. But as you said, that's not an excuse. You can't use that. Oh, okay, they're a tired team and they have this stretch. You said it. Everybody's tired, man. Everybody's playing 162 games now in different stretches, obviously.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there are no excuses. They're playing terrible baseball right now, and it has to change because the way they're playing right now, they'll get swept right out of the playoffs again.
Without a doubt. I mean, this is – and I've talked about before what I'd prefer them do it now than in the playoffs because last year it felt like it was perfect. The regular season, they didn't get swept. Everything was all sunshine and rainbows, all this stuff. Now it's to the point of maybe they're getting it out of the way early. Like, I'm trying to look at a positive side for this. Like, that's what you have to look at it. They're going through their trials and tribulations early. It's forcing them to make a move, like you said, Kevin. It's forcing them to make a move, whether that's accelerating Mayo, whether that's Jackson Holiday will resume being in the field when we return from the All-Star break. So does that mean he gets hot, he comes up? It's going to be interesting to see because we talk about the pitching staff and they need a reliever. They need a starting pitcher, and I think we both agree that's still the case. We definitely need one of each, if not two relievers, if not two potential starters. But what's the bats doing? What are the bats doing? Right now, 0 runs, 1 run, 1 run. It's tough to watch. And you look at it and you go, do they acquire a bat? Now, we agree that I think the bat comes from internally. You know, it comes from a Kobe Mayo. It comes from a Jackson Holiday. We'll see if, unfortunately, Heston Kjerstad seemed to be the answer there for a little bit. And now he's got to deal with the concussion. It's just, they need some sort of spark offensively to go along with this pitching staff that needs an addition, the bullpen that needs an addition. It's a tough spot to be in. Is the season over? I know I came in as you were saying that. No. This is still a very good ball team. This team is very talented. They have extremely talented players, and they are going to win a lot of ball games. But, man, do these stretches suck.
Yeah, they're gonna win a lot of ball games, but not like this. They can't win like this. They can't win not hitting with runners in scoring position. They can't win if their pitching staff is this inconsistent. They have the talent to turn it around, but they also need to add more, whether it's internally or externally. And I see the Scotto here saying, Yankees fan here, we just went through this exact thing. You will be fine. And he's saying things can turn around fast.
Yeah.
They can in an instant. That switch flips, and that's what it is. But the switch is off right now, and they have to find a way to flip it. And to that point, Zach, we had kind of talked about this going into the series, but this was the battle of two teams with no momentum. The Yankees were in a downward spiral. The Orioles were struggling coming off that sweep to the Cubs. And we were kind of saying, all right, which team is going to win this battle of no momentum? And it has been the Yankees. The Yankees have seemingly found something here, and the Orioles continue to spiral, where it easily could have been the other way. But we have talked about these trends for the entire season, and that's where it's concerning with me, where it's not like they don't have the talent to get out of this, because they do.
Yeah.
But it's the trends that have emerged, which I think when you're talking about, like, they've dealt with a lot of pitching injuries, and that has taken a toll on everyone. But when you're talking about offense, and we'll roll through the chats here. First of all, appreciate you, Kyle, for the 5. 4 runs in 45 innings is ridiculous. Why not trade Cowser for a pitcher? Yeah, I mean, it is, Kyle. I hear you.
But what's that going to do?
Yeah.
What's that going to do offensively?
Right. So, I mean, Kyle makes a point about, yes, 4 runs in 45 innings doesn't cut it, but a pitcher's not walking up in that batter's box and hitting a grand slam or something like that, right? I mean, the issue is not just the offense, by the way. Like, obviously, and we have talked about it, where we think the Orioles should put their assets into pitching this deadline. But is there anybody on the market worth a Cowser right now, Zach, in your opinion? Is there someone on the market that you would trade Colton Cowser for if he was the man in a package?
I mean, obviously, like the Screwballs and stuff, without a doubt, I would. But besides that, I'm not sure, because it's so crazy. If you look at Cowser's metrics, just how high he is up in every single metric, it just sucks because it's not happening. Like, the results aren't there statistically, so you have to question it. I think he looks at too many strike threes at least. It's not giving up on Cowser, but you can't trade him. Like, I don't think right now he should be the starter. I don't think he should be getting everyday at bats with how he's playing. But it's not you have to trade him. You have to look elsewhere. He's not going to be a part of this team. I think he still has that potential. Hell, we saw it in the first month of the year, where he and Gunnar were carrying the team.
Yeah. So I'd be a little shocked if they traded him at the deadline. In the offseason, depending on how he finishes, we can maybe revisit that conversation depending on how the rest of the outfield looks. But I think that's more of a conversation of what are they going to do with their vets. Because I do think, and we've talked about it, this offseason is going to be a little bit of a youth movement for them, where I think they're going to go very hard into bringing up their young talent. So we'll see. Joe, appreciate you. Member for 3 months, Joe has been. So shout out to you. Kevin, remember those cartwheels again. So, yes, the Orioles have not won since I got back from Ohio. It's been a week since I've been back from Ohio. They have not won since, so people are blaming me for the downfall of the Orioles franchise. So look, I'm not buying it, but I'll be a little worried if they lose tomorrow.
Orioles, not only have the Orioles not won, the Orioles haven't had a lead since you came back, Kevin.
I didn't even put that together. Wow.
Yeah. Orioles haven't had a lead since Sunday.
That's crazy. That is crazy. All right. Well, hopefully they don't lose tomorrow, because then I'm gonna be facing even more and more wrath from everybody.
That's all people are gonna talk about.
I know. And then D Porter, appreciate you as always, man. Thank you. What's up, fellas? Talk about the dog days of summer, right in the thick of it. Need to figure it out ASAP. Yeah. I mean, look. If you want like the glass half full take here, which I know not a lot of people want, but if you want the glass half full take, thank God this is happening in a situation where the Orioles were able to build up a little bit of a lead in the division, and they weren't down by like 2 games to the Yankees, and now they're just like falling, where they were still able to get things to the point where whenever this ends, whenever they're able to get back on track, they will still be in the hunt. And quite possibly, I mean, if they win tomorrow, you're still in a pretty good situation, but you know that you have to play better post All-Star break. And you know that hopefully there'll be reinforcements on the way. So they do need to figure it out. We'll have to see.
I mean,
because
tomorrow's got to be the biggest game, regular season game of the year up to this date, right, Kevin?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's a momentum swinger. If you can win tomorrow, doesn't erase what's happened, but at least you can go into the All-Star break. Yeah, you do. You feel a lot better. You head into the All-Star break with a win, and that feels a lot better than heading in there with a 6-game losing streak and being swept 2 consecutive times, one by the team you're trying to edge out in your division. So we're gonna have to see, but they have to figure it out fast. About the game in particular, you mentioned kind of the Grayson thing. I thought, final stat line, 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Not good enough, obviously, from the other guy that you're supposed to rely on in this rotation outside of Corbin Burns. Like, it seems like he and Burns are your security blankets, and one of your security blankets kind of, it faltered here. What you think?
Burns going tomorrow?
Hey, man. Dino got to come through, man.
Yeah, no, but, it's funny. We talked about on Tuesday, literally the day it happened, we're like, okay, but wouldn't you love to have Corbin Burns be the guy going on Sunday no matter what's happening? Little did we know it would be to stop a 5-game slide, and yes, I think Rodon is struggling. Dino has had one incredible performance, one bad performance since coming back. We'll see which guy we get from both of them, but man, would I've loved to have Corbin Burns out there tomorrow.
Yeah. And again, whether it's just him getting to the All-Star break, giving him some rest, or the whole All-Star game thing, whatever it may be, you feel a lot more confident having Corbin out there than Dean. And yeah, we're gonna the Orioles need a masterclass performance of a lifetime from Dean Kramer tomorrow, because I'm not making this like season defining. If they lose, the season's over game. But this could determine a lot in terms of momentum, just getting the negative juju out and figuring things out. But let's face it, if Dean gives up 3 runs and the Orioles only score 1, the Orioles lose. The offense has to be the other part of this to get back on track, because they continuously cannot get guys in. I mean, look, at least they had a productive out today. You tweeted it, Zach. At least it felt good to see an out that actually did something, and they got a guy in. But still, it's not good enough.
It was. Oh, it's that's what was so hard about the back-to-back home runs by Soto and Judge, because it finally felt like they had that productive out. They didn't swing for the fences. Yes, was it an out? Was it a ground ball? Yeah, but Ryan Mountcastle, it felt like for the first time for this team in 4 or 5 days, they were just like, okay, ground ball gets them in, and they did it. And it felt like, okay, if you could get the momentum, then you had first and second, 2 outs. Obviously, you couldn't come through there. Would have loved to have grabbed another run. But you felt like the momentum was being built. Then as soon as back-to-back home runs get hit, it's gone. It's gone. At that point, it was get them tomorrow.
Yeah. It's just disappointing, man. I mean, we know how good this team can be, but they're not playing like it. So, I mean, offensively, we can look here. They at least were able to string some hits together, but they still only 1 run to show for it. Colton, we talked about him. He went 2 for 4 today. I thought he was pretty good. But then you have the outfield situation, which now becomes a little more dicey. Well, I mean, the All-Star break coming at decent time in terms of injuries, because obviously we know Heston was placed on the concussion injured list, 7 days, was in the lineup, and a lot of people that go, okay, we're so back. And then right before the game, he gets scratched. Austin Hayes gets put in the lineup, and Austin Hayes has to leave. So really, we'll probably see an outfield tomorrow. What?
Stowers
will be in there, probably Kowser and
Tony, probably
Tony.
Mullins. Lefty with Rodon, so probably Kowser.
Yeah. Just it's brutal. Actually, I'm gonna let me find the moves because actually, we got Vinny Natoli in here throwing 2 innings today. The Orioles'
Yes,
newest
bro.
reliever. Man, I'm telling you, all these new guys coming in,
Bert
and
Smith.
I know legends, man. You know, we might just have to swap out the Orioles regular bullpen for the for the Norfolk bullpen and call it a day, and that'll be how we do it. But Cade Povert sent down to AAA. This was just a roster manipulation thing. I saw
Yeah.
some people talking about, oh well, yep, called it. He's sent down now. No, it's a roster manipulation. He'll be back up. What his next start's supposed to be like the 27th or something.
Yeah. I wouldn't be
So
surprised if they had him just to stay on schedule, throw like the first game in Norfolk as soon as it starts and they joins the rotation the second time just to get his confidence back. But yeah, this was pure roster manipulation. You had 2 games until the All-Star break. You just want to get the guys there, send him down so he just starts his All-Star break early. And then so he starts his all. Sorry, there's yelling in the background. Do you hear it?
yeah, it's getting me through the dark times. I'm enjoying it.
There's cornhole going on.
Oh, I love that fire. That's the competitiveness the
That's
Orioles
what
need.
the Orioles need right now. That's what
They
the
need
Orioles
that fire. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but no, this was roster manipulation. He'll be back. They just need a bullpen arm to get him through the next few days.
Yeah, and then Danny Coulomb got put on the 60-day IL, transferred over. I know a lot of people were freaking out about that, but that's pretty standard. I mean, he wasn't coming back till September anyway, so he moves over there, and not a big deal, at least not as big of a deal as people are getting on. And then yes, Kyle Stowers gets called up, and Heston's on the IL. What do you think about the Yankees, Zach? Do you think they've found something here? Do you think they can take this and kind of turn their season back into what they thought it was going to be? Or do you still think this is the Aaron Judge, Juan Soto show and they're going to have to get some guys?
They have to get some guys. No, without a doubt. But so do the Orioles.
Yeah.
They have to get theirs is different. I think they get 1 starter. They need a bat or 2. But yeah, do I think this is going to be the big bad Yankees who are going to go win 105 games? No. But at the same time, it's a talented roster, and you can win with just Soto and Judge some games. So, yeah, this team, without a doubt, win or lose tomorrow, it's not like the Yankees are suddenly just going to tank or they're just going to take off. I think it's going to be a 2-team race for the rest of the year, no matter what, with the Orioles and Yankees. And I think both teams have to make significant moves in different aspects, in different areas of the team at the deadline.
Yeah, we know the Red Sox are now kind of knocking on the door and creeping up, so I'm curious to see. But this is that stretch we're talking about with these teams where in the next week and a half, we're going to figure out which of these borderline buyers or borderline sellers, if they're kind of unsure what direction to lean in, we're going to figure that out, which is why we have both said this is going to be such a weird trade deadline, just in terms of like, I think there are going to be many more buyers, and I think there are going to be many more sellers just because of the extra wild card spot, which has been there for a little while now, and just the state of the MLB where teams feel like they can sneak into that second wild card spot, especially when there is talent to be had on the market, but it's not necessarily, oh, there's this Corbin Burns on the market, but there are enough guys that can make an impact if you have a hole or two you have to fill.
What, Kevin?
No, oh, what? I was throwing it to you. I didn't know what you were doing.
No, I was seeing what was happening over here. Just continue with your rant.
It's jumping over there.
There's some beer dive. There's some cornhole. We got some vibes going over there.
Wow, you know what? Well, that's what everybody needs, man. Everybody needs those vibes. So
yeah, that's why. Yeah, it sucks, man. Like the Orioles game sucked, but they'll play tomorrow. 24 hours. Start out.
Yeah. Lineup wise, are you still throwing Gunner in the leadoff spot? Are you shaking things up? I know they don't really have a pure leadoff hitter right now, but like, do you throw Westy in there? Like
versus a lefty tomorrow, I would.
Yeah, I mean,
I would versus a lefty tomorrow.
I think you got to try, man. Like, again, they thought it was going to be Jackson, I'm pretty sure. And like that was the plan for when Jackson came up to kind of get him into that leadoff spot. Because imagine, we've talked about it, like you go Jackson, Adley, Gunner, or Mountie, or whatever. You flip those two guys at 3-4. You get Tony in the 5, Westy in the 6. You can flip those guys. Like O'Hearn factors in there somewhere. Like you have so many options with that, and it just feels more natural. But with Gunner being the leadoff, it's like that only works when your bottom of the lineup guys are hitting. And right now it's been too inconsistent for that. The offense in general hasn't been hitting, so it's not like it really matters either way. This has been going. But it's just like it's such a mental thing for me. Like they have the talent. I just think they're in their heads. I really
they're without a doubt in their heads. They have the talent. They're going to turn this around. This won't last forever. They'll come back from the break. Either it will continue for a few more games or they'll break out of it immediately. I'm not totally concerned. I think this puts more pressure on Elias to go make moves, which I'm happy about. But at the same time, it's going to turn. This team's too talented. 1 through 9, there's too much talent, especially if you can add a Jackson Holiday, a Kobe Mayo, and they come and produce. They need some help pitching-wise, but this lineup's too good to not turn this thing around.
Yeah. On a scale, and in the chat, you play this game with us here. On a scale of 1 to 10, Zach, what is your panic meter on the Orioles right now?
4, 5. I'll use 5 for 5-game losing streak. 5.
Look at some symbolic panic meter shenanigans there.
Like, is there concern? Without a doubt. Do I think this is going to last all season? No. It sucks right now, man. It sucks, but these guys are good. These guys are really freaking good.
Yeah. I'm going to go like 5.5. I'll go 5.5.
Bro, just try to copy my homework.
Did you say a half? You said 5. You said 5.
Trying to be special, bro.
No. See, you're gaslighting again. I can't believe this.
Bro,
I can't believe this is happening.
Bro, don't gaslight me on my own show.
Wow, unbelievable. Can everybody see this happening right now, live on the show? This is unreal.
Yeah, I agree with Kieran, though. Suck meter is at 11, though.
Yeah,
panic meter out of 5. Suck meter's at 11.
Vibes meter -1. -1 vibes meter right now. Just awful all around. I mean, it's the same story over and over again. And it seems like we come on here and it's just like, oh, they got embarrassed again. They got embarrassed again. They can't hit with their scoring position again. Here we go again. But the thing, I didn't actually, you didn't talk about this. But last night you said, all right, go get the get back is get the win. Their response today was not that of a team that wanted that get back. And that to me was, I think, the most disappointing part out of all of it.
Without a doubt, disappointing. I mean, today was supposed to be the day. Yesterday was supposed to fire them up. Yesterday was supposed to be the game. It was the benches clearing, Hyde getting tossed. That was supposed to be the moment. That was supposed to be the moment you look back on and you go, yep, that's where it changed. It still can be, but not if you play like that. Not if you come out there and within the first inning, within the first, 7 batters, you haven't even hit yet, and you're sitting there going, well, see you tomorrow. It's 4-0.
Yeah. And I think, do we have – I saw something about Norby being called back up. Did that happen? I don't see it.
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I don't think that happened. No, I don't. Yeah, nothing happened with Norby. It's going to be Stowers, and they're going to ride into the All-Star break. I think we see Mayo pretty soon after, if not immediately after. Yeah. I mean, it has to happen. Obviously, that would mean Arias goes in some way, shape, or form. But I do think it is because we said this a couple nights ago, right? For you, it's either or. It's either Norby or Mayo right now until Ross is expanded.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless
Unless Kalzer, you said Kalzer.
No, unless I would say it's until we see the trade deadline. Something more can happen in the trade deadline. I think guys like Arias, I think guys like, I don't want to say like Kalzer, but it wouldn't shock me if they needed a guy with a lot of control, and that was kind of someone that they looked at. My biggest thing is I think it's Mayo or Norby to start, but then we have to reevaluate after the trade deadline.
Yeah. And that's where I want to see the roster after the trade deadline. I do not want to overreact to this and say this is the team they're going to run into the postseason with, because ideally it's not. Ideally you make a move or two and then we can reevaluate, and we can reevaluate the whole MLB. What did the Yankees do? What did the Red Sox do? What did some of the Orioles competitors do? Yeah. What's the state of the MLB after that? Obviously trends still have to be broken, but hopefully we're not going to have this Orioles team head into the postseason with their exact roster, and they will add a guy. And Mike Elias talked about that a little bit also, I think, and said that, yeah, you know what? Acquire a guy with multiple years of team control, that's great. But the focus is going to be for this year. Yeah. It's going to be for 2024. And that's exactly what they need, because, again, as I've said many times over, this team's window should be very long as everything goes right. Sometimes it doesn't, but as long as everything goes right, it should be. But that doesn't mean you can't win now. Doesn't mean you can't figure things out and win a World Series this year. So you have to be able to balance the present and the future, and that will be a defining moment for what this team will be this season. But also, if you can get the control, it'll cost you more. But we know the state of this rotation in the offseason, which is very uncertain.
Yeah. Talk about uncertainty. It's what, under control next year? It's Grayson, Kramer, and like Povich. Like it's they not only have to look at this year, they have to look at the rest of the year. Something just happened. I mean, they're gonna have to get to the point where in negotiations you have to understand, like, is it worth, because we've talked about it all the time, a few times at least over the past week, you can't just trade top prospects to trade top prospects. Like, it can't be, oh, we have this great prospect, we have this great farm system, we can just go get whoever we want, and you're overpaying for guys that aren't worth it. But at the same time, this team has issues, short-term and long-term, with the rotation and in the bullpen. So you look at it and you have to decide, okay, we don't want to trade these top 3-4 guys in our organization, but if it's worth getting someone who can help now and down the road, there's the decision you have to make of, is it worth it? Even if it's maybe not the big guys, maybe it's not the Crochets, people want to go get. It might be someone who doesn't have as much young potential stardom, but they're going to have to give up guys like Norby, because that's where the seller's market is right now.
Yeah, and speaking of the rotation, appreciate you, Samuel, for the 5. Can we really count on Grayson? I don't think he's as good as we think. Grayson is good.
He's really
good. Do you trust him more than Corbin? No. But he is the guy you have to trust behind Corbin at this point. There have been inconsistent starts from him, but more often than not, he is delivered. Now, that doesn't mean he's the most consistent pitcher on the team. I think Corbin will be that for, however long he's with the team. But Grayson is your number 2. I think he's a really good player, but he does have starts like this from time to time. It's disappointing when it happens. I think the Orioles count on Grayson, and guess what? I think they have to count on him with the state that this rotation is in right now.
Yeah, because who else are you going to count on? I mean, yeah, it was a rough game, but at the same time, besides Corbin, it's Grayson. Like that, those are the only 2 right now that I really feel like going out there, I feel confident in going and putting out a dominant performance. Everyone else, it feels like, is a crapshoot. Has Grayson performed up to his standard the past 3 games? Not necessarily. He's had 2 blow-ups recently against Houston, then this game. But besides that, like, he's been as advertised. He's a young potential star pitcher. I think he has Cy Young potential. This year, probably not. But like you said, Kevin, especially at the state of the Orioles rotation, who else would it be?
No one. There's not even someone who I think they would acquire that could step into that role. I mean, you have to be able to trust the third guy because bad starts happen for everybody. You know, no one is immune to a bad start, but my confidence level in Dean right now is not the highest. My confidence level in Cade right now with the walks is not the highest. I mean, Suarez has kind of found that magic genie's water again, but how long is that going to last for? Because we saw it expire once. Is it going to do it again? Cole has been hit all over the place since going back to the bullpen, and even a little bit as a starter as well towards the end there. You only have Corbin and you only have Grayson. And that is one of the huge issues where they have to acquire a starter. And if they don't, that's a whole nother conversation.
We don't even need to think about that, Kevin.
Where are the positive vibes? We need positive vibes.
Don't put that in the air.
I know it's such a negative vibe thing. That's on me. You know, maybe if we just go full negative vibes, the negative vibes will break and it will reverse back into positive vibes, and the Orioles will win.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know, dude.
Reverse vibes jinx. My banana shake did not help. It did not help.
Oh, I forgot you did that.
I was ready to take full credit, and the Ohio jinx is stronger than the shake it up. So
the cartwheels, dude. The cartwheels.
Yeah, I guess maybe this is them punishing me, the baseball gods, for just my impeccable form on those, and they just thought it was too good.
Yeah.
So
dude, it's all your fault.
It's not. I think who said it? Joey with the comment. Rocco cursed a player. Kevin killed an entire franchise.
That was the greatest comment we've had on this show on Kevin and Zach Reacts, especially since naming rights.
Yeah, so funny. Naming rights. By the way, this is Kevin and Zach Reacts. This is not the Ryan Rippin Show. I do want to put that disclaimer out there. We're moving on to a separate channel. Hopefully sooner rather than later. New logo, new intro, new everything. So be sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube. And then, of course, when the new channel comes out, subscribe over there as well. We go live on the Ryan Rippin Show Monday and Thursday. I don't think we have a time yet for Monday, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll figure it out. Hopefully not 12, because that's like 6 a.m.
That's literally the morning for Kevin. Ryan will be back in studio Monday.
Yeah, Ryan has been a world traveler. So we'll have him. Yeah, we'll have him back. And I think he'll restore some order. I think order will be restored a little bit.
What's the Orioles' record since Ryan left?
Oh, that is a good point. We're going
to have to do that. We're going to have to find that out.
Because was he gone during the other losing streak too?
No.
Okay. No. Because I was gonna say that would be evidence. That would be evidence. So
it's been brutal, dude. Something's got to change. They just need to get to the All-Star break.
I know. This is the limpiest of limps that is going on right now. But
that's one way to put it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Is there anything else you got?
No, Kev. Just disappointment in how the team played today, if I'm being honest. It's just I thought that they were going to show up with some fire, something, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, thought the response would have been better. Obviously, it wasn't. As we've said too many times, get them tomorrow, and do not limp to the All-Star break on a 6-game losing streak. At least get something back and salvage a series, even though you're not going to win it. At least get a game. At least beat the Yankees once here. And then I think, people won't be happy, but they'll be happier than they thought it was. And look, Kyle with the 5 saying, I miss the feeling of stressing Kimbrel saves. Just give me that, man. One run game, Craig coming in.
What happened to the team I love?
I know. You know what? I'll take a bases loaded, no outs. Craig Kimbrel gets out of it save for the stress vibes. If we have to sacrifice some stress going on for a win, you know what?
I'll take it any day of the week.
I'll take it, man. All right. Is that all we got? Are we heading out?
Yeah, dude. There's nothing much more to talk about. Just disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, the game itself was, not a lot to talk about. Grayson, not great. Offense, not great. Orioles, not great. Hopefully they can get back at it
You guys
tomorrow
win?
and win. So, all right. Zach needs to get back to his cornhole party. Well, hold on. Let me get you on there. There we go. There you go.
Yeah. We're it's gonna be a day, Kevin. We're not letting the vibes kill that.
Yeah, all right. You get the vibes up. Hopefully the Orioles will
Big
will
wins,
follow
Kevin. Big
suit.
wins.
Big wins.
All
right.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
You gotta get your. Are you playing cornhole or are you just observing?
Well, I'm about to. I'm about to toss
you
gotta
update the people on how you do.
I will. I'll put in the Discord. So join the Discord.
All right. Join the Discord. I guess I'll put the link quickly. The right link.
Yeah, put the right link, Kevin.
Yeah, could you imagine
this corner? I've been in this corner the whole time, so just found a corner in the yard. So
how antisocial of you.
Well, what was I gonna do? Go in the cornhole over there?
You could just you would have been electric if you were streaming while you were just beating guys down in cornhole.
So I was considering doing that, and then I was like, it would be too much.
You would be like the multitasking. You couldn't handle the multitasking.
That's dope. Sorry, someone just did something cool.
Oh no, you're good. I'm getting the link in the Discord or for the Discord, and then we will get on out of here. I don't know. Is there any? Can you do like a jinx dance or something?
I don't even know what to do.
Here,
it's brutal.
Right. Yeah, not great. Okay, link to the Discord. Where again, if you are not in the Discord and you want to join me, there are live Orioles watch-alongs in there for I think every game or most games. Baseball chats, multiple different chats. So the link is in the description. Here's what I'll do. I'll do the wave dance in reverse.
Yes.
Okay. So usually it's this way. It's this way, but we're doing the reverse. This is the reverse.
Ugh. I just dropped the football.
That's tragic.
Oh, yeah. It was a dot.
Of course.
Oh my God, Kevin, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just hurt myself so bad. Oh, you see that? There we go.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There we go, baby. Oh,
what you hurt?
My shoulder. I had not thrown anything. That was brutal. There we go.
See it.
Wait 1 sec. Oh, here we go. Oh, I dropped it.
1 for 3.
Yeah, I'll take 1 for 3. My arm hurts so bad. My shoulder. I feel like I just.
You're Zach. You're getting a bunch of people wanting you to stream the cornhole.
I know. We're not streaming the cornhole.
Wow. Disappointing.
Yeah,
disappointing.
I'm going deep. Sorry, I dipped our deep. Yeah, but fantastic day, even with the loss.
Yeah, not for the Orioles, but Zach has the vibes. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I have no clue, but I think that's all. I think that's all we got here on Kevin and Zach Reacts.
We got
wait, here we go.
So yeah, there we go.
All right, there it is.
No alcohol on the juice. No alcohol on the stream.
No alcohol. Good. Spicy
waters.
No
spicy waters on the stream. Wow. All right. You know what? Have a day. Have a night, everyone.
All right. Yeah, we're heading out. Peace out, everybody. We'll be back here tomorrow after the Orioles hopefully win on Kevin and Zach Reacts. Like and subscribe here to the Ryan Rickman Show channel. Ryan Rickman Show live Mondays and Thursdays. Kevin and Zach Reacts live after every Orioles game. We'll see you. Have a day. Have a night. Have a weekend. Peace out.
Peace, everyone.